good morning there. You're watching QTV this morning, and I am Jenna Bosonko, and we hope that you had an amazing week and an amazing weekend, and just excited about the fact that you choose this morning to accompany you throughout the week from Mondays to Thursdays, and I'm here with my co-host Ibrahima Balde. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. How was your weekend?
Morning, Janaba. Well, it was a great weekend, a rainy weekend.
Yeah. A rainy one, right?
Yes, but Alhamdulillah, I mean, we are in August, so I mean, we are expecting it will rain until the end of August and September as well. So things are changing, the seasons are changing due to climate change. I mean, when you talk to people, climate change is real. They tend to ignore that, thinking, okay, they might not know what they are saying, but I mean, it is prevalent. We are seeing how climate change is changing our seasons. So, Alhamdulillah, it was a great weekend. I spent it at home. You know.
Lucky you. Saturday, I had to come to work. I had to come to work on Saturday, and then on Sunday, I rested yesterday the whole day because I had a really hectic week running around, getting things done, and the list goes on. I'm going to go. So, yo, mom, danga talk like it's a tanke.
No, do not talk like my tanka. I want priorities as a family man. Sometimes you know, as you can I have a shop that I run. So I go
and taking a shop
and surprisingly now you know what I do?
What do you do?
Shop be starting in DJ coffee. You know, and I sell coffee now.
You sell coffee?
Wow.
Si buntikir bi fofu no ñaata?
Si bitik bi.
Si biir bitik bi.
No, we have now moved. We have now transitioned from Kirby. Now we got a shop on the highway.
Lolu baax na.
So what we do, we sell coffee. Surprisingly, dama dey enjoy nit ñi.
Waaw.
Suñu romé ñu fekk ma ngey def coffee bi ni. Dañ ma ne who is this? Is it Balde? Yes, Balde la. Mo nga di jaay coffee.
So Balde yow sa boppa yaa dee jaay coffee bi.
Man suma boppa
Balde bul yaa deri télé bi.
Wallahi man suma boppa
bul yaa deri télé bi. Mr. Ka sa staff bi mu ngi dem di jaay coffee bi mu ngi yaa deri télé bi.
What do you mean?
No, dama bañ rek nga yaa deri télé bi. Su ko defee ñu ne Balde things yi dang na ba moo dem di brew coffee di ko jaay.
No, you are getting it wrong. Xam nga things yi nekkut ne okay fine. Balde dafa appear on TV.
Wow.
Man, I am being very real. Understand? Bepare man, I am not ashamed of the hustle that put food on my table.
And I love that.
Understand?
I appreciate that.
So I sell coffee. I do a lot of stuff. So I'm a businessman, Jenna.
Mane, harama wax la bëgg na dee. Hanga yow coffee nga wax. Harama wax la bëgg na dee. Man PA system sa dama ko dee rent léegi di. Nga am sa event ma rent la PA system do.
So tay du
hustle bi foofu la toll.
nga si yooyu.
Dugoon naa si yooyu.
Waaw ñu
ne
àndandoor day waale.
waaye daal yaa deri télé bi lay bañ. ñu romba yooni Lamine bi.
Man
sa staff bi arrêtel
tay coffee bar la de.
arrêtel kii su yaagee mu bale dëkk bi su ko defee nga yaa deri télé bi.
suma la mixale coffee.
te QTV ñu ngi laa fay salary bu mut.
Jenna ba maa ngi amee coffee machine boo xam ne.
QTV ñu ngi laa fay salary bu mut bul yaa
I mean, Lolo is a different venture. Lolo is different from what I do. Yes. And I'm loving it.
You're loving it. It's a good thing. As long as you're enjoying it, it's fine. So today we will be having the newspaper review, but at some point in the show. But to start with, we're joined by Honorable Fatou Kinte, Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, and we will be talking about gender-related matters as well as social welfare and children. But before that, let's just take a look at our African proverb, and also we'll be joined by Ajib Bank, who have launched this priority banking system for medical and security personnel, and we'll be joined by Ibrahima Job and Malik Mboob, and they will be talking to us on what this priority banking for medical and security personnel entails altogether. So our African proverb, Ibrahim, what is it?
A monkey is an ugly thing, even with a golden ring. A monkey is an ugly thing, even with a golden. You get a monkey like mangi halad korka. I'm going to know me like
Balton. A monkey is an ugly thing, even with a golden ring. South African proverb for me.
How much in the proverb be there? Why at least how many monkey is ugly?
Wow.
Well, at least what you ne thing then you on a monkey is an ugly animal.
Did it? Wow, fine. Why thing la? Parce que xamuñ da jigéen la nda góor la.
Why animal mom lolu is general?
Wow, that's
why monkey is an ugly animal?
Ba léegi si biir proverb bi la bokka. Waaye comme man, it's very true. Am na ñoo xamante ne luñ bon jikko loo leen defar taxut seen jikko baax. It's not about fi mu nekk nii monkey bi physically nu mel de. It's now beyond physically monkey bi nu mel. It's about attitude. It's about so many things. Am na ñoo xam ne bon nañ bon boo xam ne tey loo leen defar taxut ne dañoo dellu si seen mbonaay. Sometimes nga gis ñoo xam ne xëj na dañ leen dee téye in prison ñu ne ok na leen try rehabilitate leen suñ génnee they will be better people dañ dee dugga di génn and they become the same people even though nit yi dañ dee put in the effort to make them better people. So there are just some people in society ñoo xamante ne loo try pour defar seen der o loo try pour defar seen jikko nit ñu bon lañ rek mënuñoo musa baax. That's what I think.
So before you delve into the proverb bu baax ñu ngi am suñ benn viewer in the US Ibrahima Jawara.
Waaw.
mu ne you have to maximize your income. Tom, coffee is a good seller.
It's a good thing.
Waaw
wax ko ne man damaa taxaw di jaay lifin manit PA system nit ñi so loolu lañ fi am foog ñu try. So monkey, this is what I was saying Ibrahima, so yow lan mooy sa take on it? Man daal feel naa ne it's beyond nit ki sa physical because nit sa it's not about how you look physically, it's what's in your heart, it's your attitude, sa behavior as a human being. So am na ñoo xam ne loo leen defar loo teg lu baax seen der du musa tax ñu baax.
dañoo change.
They're not going to change. They're just going to be who they are. te kenn mënu si dara. waaw even so indi woon the best of therapists and everything ñëw toog ak ñoom wax ak ñoom for them to be better people. They can't just.
waaw xam nga change in fact depends on the individual.
waaw.
You know yow yaa war a lead that change. I mean to yourself. Let's take a look at an example of a smoker. You know koo xam ne daf dee a heavy smoker moom rek moo mën a jël pas boobu noonu mu ne ok quit naa. Understand nga waaye bu nekkee ne everybody ñu ngi ko bully di ko ne da nga war a bàyyi mu ne ok bàyyi naa. Understand nga moom amul that intention to quit smoking.
du ko bàyyi
now du ko mën a bàyyi because yenn attitude ñu ngi fa yow individual bi you have to work on yourself, you have to be prepared to leave them. But there are unfortunate human beings too. ñoo xam ne ñooñu seen attitude no matter how you try it will never change.
It will never change.
I can remember amoon na benn xale buñ musoon a indi yar. Understand nga suñ kër lañ ko indi. dañ ko jox suma daat pour mu yar ko. waaye the thing is kooku dafa jóg mu daw mun naa nekk 1 week du ñëw kër. loolu la nekkee woon.
That's not good.
1 week du ñëw. o su gisee bicycle nit. dafa jël sa bicycle abal ma dem fi ma ñëw sa bicycle bi soo utul 1 week doo gis sa bicycle.
That's crazy.
soo gaa indi ko pour seet ndax dinañ mun a inculcate that sense of discipline. bu mu ñëwee sax dafa woos fale 1 week la doon def léegi dafa def 1 month du ñëw.
But let's also take a look at
attitude is a problem.
Let's also take a look at this proverb at a global level. For example, African presidents. The reason why suma xel bi dem si African presidents mooy dama gis ne Dumbuya Viviane daf ko génneel woy. And so seetaane woy bu ko Dumbuya of Guinea. So seetaane woy bu ko Viviane génneel. And moom the way he was acting in the video di nga xam ne alleged awma si lu leer na dañ fay Viviane or not. waaye based on behavior bi si biir video bi di nga xam ne he participated.
Wow, okay, he was part of the characters
in the video. Part of the characters in the video.
Don't play role.
The play role. Okay. So African presidents tem suñ ñëwee ñun ñëpp dañ leen dee tàccul ne hey kii ñëw na kii dafa different kii du foyantu kii du def lii kii du def lii and then after you get to see ne the moment ñu dem ba mean position bi rek ñoom tam they into it. You understand? dañ si dee soobu bokka si dugga si. So at the end of the day nit ki ak nu munti ñëwee nit ki ak nu munti ñëwee it doesn't matter. su demee ba mean place sometimes because African presidents suñ mean not all the time. Why sometimes suñ demee ba miin rek ñu am ko in a way that is not even the usual way. ñu foog ne kii dina change a particular narrative. They tend to continue. léegi fu mu nekka bëgg nañoo involve tamit the minister moom tam mu wax ñu lan la foog maa ngi laal politicians yi nag waaye président si laa wax te du yëpp so fu mu nekka ni ñu indi minister tam mu wax moom tam lan la foog si proverb bii nii a monkey is an ugly thing even with a golden ring. It's a South African proverb. Good morning, Ma.
Good morning. I think if I can interpret it from my understanding,
yes,
that however good you do to the monkey, the monkey's attitude will still be the same.
Exactly.
It will not change.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. Like we were talking about. So African presidents in Agbunyo, but that's just the truth. That's the trend that we've been seeing in Africa. You should watch the video. Expect tomorrow when Dumbuya will be featured in a video with the seriousness. You know, and then he's doing that. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, if I don't know if Vivian is paid for it or not, but just in case, if she was paid to do it, where's the seriousness?
Well, I think for I think for the case of Dumbuya, wow. I mean, I think he is doing a lot of aggressive media campaign in Guinea. Anything Lumdaf posting, anything Lumdaf media. Even most of these Guinean singers, nyunko woyal songs yo hamne. You know, mom samung si video bi. You can talk like a president, but the wulenya say I video. That's what we're talking about. We need, you know, serious leadership at the end of the day. Why some Lulu Genoa at some point? Lulu Sam, I don't see anything wrong.
Monday is not something wrong. Yo, taja good fa.
Toj na fa de.
Lalla fa def. Wahma project major.
I'll tell you something. It's not Dumbuya. Mungi change the infrastructure when it comes to roads in Guinea. So hame Guinea before nga ham Guinea legi amna ñu la xam ñoo xam ne sa ñu la dañ la wax ne achievement boom def when it comes to road infrastructure xam nga ñaata ñoo doon dee si yoon yooyu no
agree na si li nga wax waaye ay affaire feeñ si vidéo di fa yëngatu noonu la mu ngi ñëw ndanka waaw yaa ngi understand noonu la dee commencé yeah Jame you understand. That is how it starts. Creeping. Duga besibir. You become comfortable and then start acting in a way.
Sometimes you know they build our own dictator.
Thank you very much. That's what I was talking about. But like I said, we are joined by Honorable Fatou Kinte in the studio, who is the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare. And we're here to have discussions on children, women-related matters, and just generally social welfare. Ma, once again, welcome to the studio. So to start with, the most pressing topic lately on on social media, on mainstream media everywhere, is the death of a 1-month-old baby for female genital mutilation. Investigations were being conducted by the Gambia Police Force, thumbs up to them. They came up with a final report to say the baby actually died due to female genital mutilation, and then 2 women are in custody. They will have to go to court and all of that. So what is your ministry doing at this point? Since after the bill has been maintained by the National Assembly, what has happened after that to ensure that the enforcement is actually taking place to the latter?
Thank you very much. Since the bill has been maintained with efforts for the pushback, we have been very busy with our sensitization and awareness creation on the consequences of FGM and also further popularizing the law. And we worked with the new National Women's Councillors, and they each did sensitization in their constituencies. And currently, we are about to start work with the National Assembly members, individual members, for them to do a similar activity also in their districts. So work is ongoing as regards the awareness creation on the harmful effects of FGM, so people can continue to stop FGM and also to further popularize the law. And we have a joint program with Senegal, and last week there was also a big program in Casamance regarding FGM, its consequences, and also popularizing the law. Remember, in both the Gambia and Senegal, there are laws banning and criminalizing the law. So work is ongoing. And before all that, the Ministry of Gender, with other government partners and CSOs, we developed a joint work plan, funded, of course, by UNFPA and UNICEF. And we further strengthen the steering committee, which we chair. And we also have a joint, it's a joint program, and we also have one pot in which all funding comes in. And from the joint work plan, every institution, be it government or CSO, is giving funding to organize the activities across the country. And we meet occasionally as a steering committee to review work, just to make sure that we complement each other and there's no duplication. So work is ongoing as we are speaking.
Balde, before you come in, what is your opinion on the argument that the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare is not doing enough when it comes to female genital mutilation. For example, when the National Assembly member proposed for the repeal of the FGM ban, why did it take your ministry so long to react during that period, which actually meant to some people that your ministry is not very proactive or is not taking a clear stance when it comes to female genital mutilation?
Actually, that statement is not correct. The ministry didn't waste time at all in start working with the National Assembly members. Even before that, as a government, a cabinet subcommittee was constituted to work on FGM, and then we started working with the National Assembly members. The issue here is that as a government, when we're dealing with sensitive issues, we don't go public as CSOs and others will. Yes. So a cabinet subcommittee was constituted, and we got the blessing of the president, and we started working with the National Assembly members. I remember, sometimes I was at the National Assembly till 1 o'clock in the morning, working with the National Assembly members. We had a lot of comments from the CSOs and also in social media, but for us, the most important thing was, let's walk the walk, let's walk the talk. And that was what we did. And we didn't only sensitize the National Assembly members here in the Gambia to individual meetings and also workshops. But we also made sure that we send them to Al-Azhar University on a study tour. And that was based on best practice from previous work that we had done with Al-Azhar University. Some of us have been with the population program for a very long time. And when it was tough at the time, we had brought Al-Azhar University to the Gambia to talk to our Islamic religious people so they understand what the population program is all about. And again, and that paid dividend. And again, in 2017, when I was with the UNFPA, again, we brought Al-Azhar University and ulamas from other Muslim countries, Chad, Nigeria, to talk about FGM, and also, of course, with our own people. I remember at that meeting, we brought together 700 participants to discuss the issue of FGM. So based on best practice with Al-Azhar University, we chose to send the National Assembly members to Egypt, Al-Azhar University, so they can also listen to the ulamas and know what FGM is all about. And the good thing was, Egypt is an Islamic country. Two, they also have a ban against FGM. So that was why we sent them to Egypt. And then when they came back, the study was the same. During our meetings with them, during our workshops with them, what we told them was the same thing that they reported when they returned from Al-Azhar University. So the fact that people saying that we didn't do anything, that's not true.
So, okay,
we were very busy on the ground, doing out of work on against FGM and talking to National Assembly members. Yes,
that is granted. You were working on the background as a ministry. But as a ministry, in this world of communications, it is important that we are informed. Because, for example, the media were asking questions when the CSOs came and said, we do not know the stance of the ministry. Because at that time, we did not know what the ministry was up to. You know, you're just telling us now. So how about the role of communication then to ensure that there will be no speculations? We should know as a citizenry what steps our Ministry of Gender is taking when it comes to the fight. What do you think about that?
It's a pity that you didn't know, but then the CSO, some CSOs will not tell you that. Because
but the ministry is supposed to tell us.
Excuse me, let me conclude. Some of the CSOs will not tell you that because we started to work with them and developed the comprehensive work plan, which we shared with everybody, and then I chaired the opening of the meeting of the steering committee on that day at UNICEF. And even before the steering committee meeting, we also sent a press release, yes, on the government stance on FGM. It's a pity you didn't know about that, but we did a lot of work, and it was at the beginning we worked quietly, but eventually we became public, because you remember one thing. When you're dealing with a sensitive issue, you start quietly before you come public. That's the right thing to do. Yeah. Yes.
So for me, I want to understand, despite the ban, why are still communities practicing FGM?
You have to understand one thing. This is an entrenched sociocultural belief and practice in the Gambia. In fact, now we have come very far. There was a time you need not talk about FGM. Yes. It was a taboo subject to talk about. We have done a lot of work. We've done a lot of work. That's now why now it is a household word. Everybody, it is spoken about everywhere. Before, when you talk about FGM, you go undercover. So the mere fact that now we are talking about it openly means a lot of work has been done and the playing field is leveled. Okay, and for issues that has to do with people's culture and belief, it takes time to eliminate completely. So, but despite further, some are still doing it. Well, we have made a big achievement by making it a household word, talking about everywhere. And interestingly, now you have young people's organizations also coming on board with desensitization, like the Think Young Women, the Girls Agenda, Stephans for Girls. So that also is a big achievement. And thirdly, the prevalence is coming down drastically. Yeah, when we started this issue of FGM, it was as large as 90% prevalence across the country. Of course, with regional variations, as you come in towards the urban area, you see the prevalence goes down. Yeah. And in 2013, the DHS revealed a 76% prevalence. And again, in 2019-2020, there was another study which revealed a 74% prevalence. Which means it is coming down drastically. And people are becoming more and more aware of the consequences of FGM. And they are stopping on their own accord. And I think that's a remarkable achievement. So how? And then in 2013, 46% of people believe that FGM, 65% of people believe that FGM should continue. But in 2019, it has come down to 46. That's also a big achievement. So drastically, people are stopping on their own accord because they are beginning to see that it is harmful and it has no value whatsoever. So that's why people are eventually stopping.
So how strong is our law? I mean, if it's not very strong, I mean, do you have any intention of a stricter, I mean, measure? Because at some point, we believe these laws should be put at a level whereby people will be like, okay, this is not it's a no-go area. I mean, we believed, okay, if people are found wanting, at some point they'll just go pay a token of a sum and they are released.
No, this law is still the same. The law is still the same. You see, in the Gambia is a closed society. FGM is going on undercover. People are not reporting. If you don't report, how do you expect the law to take its right course? We all know that there's the law. The Women's Act has been amended. You have Section 32A and B, and if you do, it is criminalized. The law criminalizes it, and if you do FGM, you can be charged a fine of up to $50,000 or 3 years imprisonment or both. And if the victim, if the child dies, that's life imprisonment. If you're an accomplice, you can be charged a fine of over $20,000. But the issue here is people are not reporting. The law is the law. It is here to protect the women and the girls. But unless you report, the law cannot take the right course of action. The right course of action cannot be taken. So I implore every Gambian to report when they hear of a case of FGM. And let people know that the law is here to protect the women and girls. And there is no way in which the law can be changed. Because we believe the law is here to protect all of us. Let's remember that the Gambia has signed a lot of international instruments to protect the rights of women and girls. FGM is not only doesn't only have a health consequence, but it is a human rights violation. Government has signed a lot of international instruments, and that is a commitment. Signing is a commitment that government is going to protect the rights of women and girls. So by coming off with the law, we are putting into practice what we have signed. So the law is there to protect all of us, and people are supposed to make sure that people should refrain from FGM. And if they hear about FGM or they know that it's happening, they should report. It's only when they report that the law can take its right course of action.
What pattern of collaboration do you have with the Gambia Police Force, for enforcement?
Just as I have said, the only time that police can arrest is when cases are reported. We work closely with the police force. And we have the gender and child welfare units in major police stations, and they have all been trained on gender issues and issues affecting women and children. And we work very closely with them. Yes, we work very closely, and we have strengthened them sometime by providing them with equipment and also with furniture. We work very closely with them, and we are all together to protect the rights of women and girls in the Gambia.
Yes. So let's talk about space. A space available for the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare. You know, it's supposed to be that one-stop shop where women can come in and out, have conversations, hold listening circles, safe spaces and all of that. I know it's a new ministry, but are there any plans in place to build a complex, you know, for the ministry to ensure some of these things that I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's in our plan. But that notwithstanding, even in the office that we are, we have a mediation room. We have a mediation room. When you come with an issue, you don't discuss it in an open office. We take you to the mediation room where it is discussed for confidentiality. That's important.
Okay, because
because you have to remember, we deal with a lot of confidential issues when it comes to women's issues of children, like child custody, and when it comes to women's issues, issues of marriage, inheritance, these are all issues that we deal with at all times. Okay. So we invite you to the mediation room where you hold the discussions. Confidentiality here is very important. It's paramount.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
what medical and counseling services do we have for, you know, people that encountered gender-based violence? And, you know, when we talk about gender-based violence, we tend to focus more only on women. I think men are also, I mean, violated sometimes.
In fact, we don't focus only on women. There's also, men are also beaten.
Yes.
But the point here is they don't come out to complain. And when you talk about gender-based violence, I think the magnitude on women is higher. Yeah, and when you said
counseling and medical. Okay.
Yes, we do, in the major health facilities, we have one-stop centers. And then there is like a supermarket program where when a victim walks in, the victim is counseled, the victim is provided with health services, and the police are also there. And if the victim wants to take the issue up to court, and something is also done about that. And the health staff who are there provide the medical counseling. And we also have the our shelter for victims of gender-based violence in Bakote. And I also want to tell you that in Bakote, at the Shelter for Children, we also have GMI Center. It's a call center. The phone number is 199. And anytime you call to report a case of gender-based violence, there's somebody there 24 hours to pick up and give you advice. If you are in rural areas, very far from the shelter, you'll be referred to our one-stop centers. And if you are within the Kanifing area, Gierbanyo area, you'll be referred to our shelter in Bakote, where you can come and then you provide a safe space, and we provide you with temporary accommodation, and then you provide you with psychosocial counseling, and there's a clinic at the shelter as well, and then you can also be provided with health services. And if you want to take up the case to the courts, of course, the case will be taken to the courts. So all of these are happening in the Gambia at the moment. And I also want to say that as we are speaking, we are building a special court on gender-based violence. And it's about 90% complete. And the reason being that when cases go to the normal courts, they take a long time. And as a result, people withdraw their cases. To prevent that happening, we are now putting up a special court on gender-based violence. Okay. Yeah, and then that will handle only cases of gender-based violence. Wow. And there will not be any delay in handling such cases. Considering
the amount of cases we see in our courts, I mean, having a separate course will definitely.
Exactly. Yes. And then the GMIS Data Collection Center is also collecting a lot of data on FGM. Sorry, on gender-based violence.
So, Honorable, why is there two hotlines? Because I know there's the 1313 as well.
Yeah, it's also there.
Yeah, so both. Why are there two, you know, which can bring confusion? Why is it that there's no unified, you know, hotline where anyone who, like 911, for example, you know, everybody knows it's the police?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. When we started in I think it was 2021, we launched both lines. Yes. 199 for
and
children.
1313
for gender-based violence. But then eventually we saw the need to have 199. But again, 1313 is also used. And we are thinking of amalgamating and having only one line at which you can report a case of gender-based violence, case of child protection, or whatever case you want to report. We are working on that.
But why the duplication in the first place?
I think there was a little bit of understanding, and that was why we had 1313 for gender-based violence, 199 for children's affairs.
For children specifically?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. But now we are putting the two together. Yeah, for now you can call 1313, you can also call 199. But when you call 199, the call will go to our call center. 1313 will go to the Paradise program. We are working together. We are complementing each other's efforts. Yeah. But eventually, we are going to have one line for everything. For everything. Yeah, that makes it easier for us.
Let's talk about the amount of the cases that they report when it comes to early marriages in the Gambia. I mean, and what is your ministry doing, I mean, to make sure there's an understanding? I mean, a child shouldn't be given out to get married without the age that is required.
Okay, first of all, I want to say that the Children's Act was amended in 2015 and to include child marriage. Child marriage is also criminalized by law. And we have been, and we are still doing a lot of sensitization of communities and individuals on child marriage and its dangers. Children should be allowed to complete school before they get married, because there are a lot of benefits when they complete school and are employed before they get married. So that's going to continue, and in fact, it's ongoing. And we work closely, we don't work in isolation. We work closely with the CSOs and the NGOs on this. And when we hear of a case that a child is going to get married...
Honorable, we'll have to interrupt you there. Sorry about that. We'll just go for a short break. And when we come back, the show continues. Don't go anywhere. Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Mitoma. First time cross, really threatening, and it's dropped for Minte, rifled in! Out.
Did you know you can buy cash power using Q Money Wallet absolutely free up to $30,000? Use our app or dial 323# and select Q Power. Choose Register Meter. Enter your meter number.
Something on the on the pushback.
On the pushbacks. Yes, we're back. We're live.
Yeah, the president.
Yes, we're back. Yes, Honorable.
Yes, I just want to add one thing regarding the pushback.
Yes.
Regarding the on the law. His Excellency the President played a very key role in that, and the credit goes to him, because if he didn't constitute the cabinet subcommittee on FGM and giving us go ahead to start work, it wasn't going to be easy.
But so he had to all the directly intervene.
Yeah, the credit goes to him. He was very concerned, and he established the cabinet subcommittee on FGM, and we worked together with the National Assembly members. Eventually, now we have the law still in place, and the attempts to for the pushback didn't succeed.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Women Empowerment Fund that the Gambia government has put in place to empower women. What is the role of the ministry in this Women's Empowerment Fund? For example, how these women groups or the individual women are supported. How are they picked? How is it done? Do you have any hand in it?
Thank you very much. It is the Women Enterprise Fund.
Yes.
And it is our flagship project. It is the first of its kind in the Gambia, and fully funded by the government of the Gambia.
Yes.
The reason why the project came into existence is because a lot of Gambian women are into entrepreneurship, be small or big. And the main challenge there is access to finance. We all know that the banks give loans, but then they have their conditions. And many they ask for collateral, and how many women can provide collateral? Very few. Even those who provide collateral, the interest rates are so high, at the end of the day, you become poorer. So this is the reason why government came up with the Women Enterprise Fund to support women entrepreneurs to start a business, and for those who have started, to help them scale up. And it came through an act of parliament in 2020, and the women should be in groups. And the group members will live in the same community, And they should be meeting occasionally and making some contributions. Whatever amount, that's not important, but let them be making some contributions. And they should also be registered and have a certificate. And also, they should have a bank account. What's in the bank account doesn't matter to us very much. The reason is that because the money goes into an account. That's why there should be a bank account. And once you have all of these and you have ID cards, you have a TIN number, and then you can apply. And at your regional governance offices, that's where the forms are placed. And that's where our gender officers work. And you pick up a form, complete the form, and the gender officers will also advise you. And then you submit the completed form. At every governance office, there's a structure in place. And this structure will occasionally look at the applications and then see which ones have met the requirements. And then they send a number that we request to us here at the ministry. At the level of the ministry, we have established a board. And the board members will also sit and look at the applications and see which ones meet the requirements and then approve or otherwise. When the approval is made, we do the training of the groups in entrepreneurship first, before the money is transferred into their accounts. And I want to say that now we are strengthening the ministry. We have a fund manager, we have an enterprise officer, and very soon we will also be getting an enterprise clerk. And the staff in the office, the gender officers, also support in that. It is a flagship project, as I mentioned earlier. We have reached out to over 75,000 women, and over 83,000 dollars have been disbursed. And then the fund is such that the loan is given out at an interest rate of only 5%, and we have a grace period of 6 months. Meaning in 6 months you'll be working and not paying anything. At the end of which, then you start paying within the next 6 months at the interest rate of 5%. The demand for the funds is quite high, and more women have applied, and they're still applying. I want to add here that we have the SWET project, which we launched in June. That's the Sahel Women Empowerment for the Dividend project, and it is also strengthening the Women Enterprise Fund. This year, from that project this year, we are to train adolescents and young women, 2,331 of them. And this was $63 million. And this is going to be a grant. So I keep saying that the President and the government has brought good luck for the people of the Gambia. Because one, it came with the Women Enterprise Fund, the first of its kind, fully funded by the government of the Gambia. And now SWET has come to give more support to adolescent girls and young women, adolescent girls out of school. And they will also be trained in entrepreneurship and will be given the grant for this year. But in the coming years, we'll be training them in a livelihood skill of their choice, as well as train them in entrepreneurship before the grant is given. And I have been telling my colleagues in the office that instead of giving cash, let's give in kind, because it's more sustainable and it will put it into right use. So Women Enterprise Fund has come to stay, and the ultimate objective of the Enterprise Fund is to come with a bank for women.
Do they need finally? Do they need any collateral to access this fund?
Okay, and also, because Balde asked something, let me just add to that.
Can I respond to his question first?
Yeah, because we have like few minutes to go.
Okay.
I just want you to make it one answer.
Yes.
With the Women Enterprise Fund, what is your justification that it's non-political, for example? Have you supported women who represent other political parties? Because often this conversation comes up.
It is not political. We don't ask which political party you belong to. Yeah, when they go to complete the forms, we don't ask which political party you belong to. Once you're a Gambian woman, you are qualified. It's not political. And even the SWET project coming up to complement the effort of the Women's Enterprise Fund, that's also not political. It's for all Gambian women and adolescent girls. For the Enterprise Fund, it's for all Gambian women, irrespective of which political party you belong to. I'm sure people from other parties may be listening right now. They have benefited from this project, and they have paid their loans, and some of them are still applying and benefiting. Yeah, so we give loans to anybody who's qualified, irrespective of your party affiliation.
The collateral.
There's no collateral. Here, because of the group funding, group members support, guarantee each other. That's why we focus on the group funding.
So you don't need a land, for example, or a property or anything.
That's why you have to be part of a group. You have to be part of a group.
Okay, that's
good. With a group now, when you are given a loan, you must pay.
That's good.
Yeah, because you must make sure that you pay.
Yeah, that's good. Considering the fact that women do most of the time, inheritance becomes a problem to
That's right,
inherit
yeah.
lands.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
right.
think that way is a perfect way of doing things.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, but thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for joining us on the program. We stole your morning today, despite your busy schedule. We're excited that you were able to join us to discuss issues relating to women, children, and social welfare. So we'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the newspapers. A lot of things happened last week and over the weekend, and we will love to review it for you. Do stay.
Thank you very much.
My name
Thank
is
you.
I was thinking that you were going to
Adams,
ask
a proud product of this noble institution. Heritage Christian University is not just a learning place, but a community that transforms lives and empowers its students to become compassionate entrepreneurial leaders. My journey here has truly been life-changing, and I invite you to come experience the same. Whether your passion is into business, nursing, midwifery, psychology, communication studies, multimedia technology, information technology, or theology and ministry, Heritage has tailored these programs for both the undergraduate and graduate studies to suit your goal. If you're ever ready to take your education to the next level, then pick up an application form and join us today. At Heritage, you are never alone, as members of the community will stand and walk with you every step of the way. Welcome to Heritage Christian University.
Do your banking the smart way with the new Ajib Bank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Ajib Bank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Ajib Bank, your investment partner.
At Ajib Bank, we are more than banking. We build bridges that connect you to pivotal services every day. Do you have government bills to pay to the Gambia Revenue Authority, Comfort, KMC, or the Accountant General's Department? We've got you covered. From payment of customs and domestic taxes to GRA, payment of number plate and vehicle ownership transfer to Comfort, payment of property rates and business license fee to KMC, and payment of MR passport, business registration, fishing license, land fees, sale of assets, lease application, development permits, quarrying royalties, gravel and sand, mining royalties, and a host of other revenue lines to the Accountant General's Department. Walk into any of our branches nationwide and make your payments hassle-free. Either in person or online. Simple, secure, and immediate. With Ajib Bank, there is no need to worry about government bill payments for your vehicles, taxes, licenses, business registration, and any other revenue line. Ajib Bank, passionate about your investment. We've got you covered. Ajib Bank, your investment partner.
QCell, the fastest growing network in the Gambia, now presents to you the eSIM. QCell's eSIM allows you to electronically scan a code and join the world of digital SIM cards. Customers with physical SIMs can easily switch to the eSIM as well. So rush now and get connected with an eSIM and start using the latest mobile technology with your trusted GSM operator. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sinubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and I am Jenna Bosonko. Thank you so much for staying with us, and special thanks to the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare for joining us on the program and giving us an update on issues relating to children, women, and social welfare. Mr. Mboj, good morning.
Yeah,
Tell us, how was your weekend?
It was a nice one.
What did you do? What happened? How was it?
I don't know. I was just in bed. I'm watching my sort of documentaries. And
yeah.
Afterwards, I watch football. So to me, that was nice, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
So over over the week, we saw a lot of things happen. We saw President Adama Barrow handed over 60 tractors to Gambian farmers. 60 tractors to Gambian, kind of in a bid to mechanize agriculture to boost productivity.
Absolutely, even 10. Whatever you can do, put it in, but make sure that you maintain it, you use it in the right way.
Yes.
So you know what I mean? So incrementally, that's what you can do. You just cannot at one go buy everything. We don't have that kind of money. We all know that.
Yeah.
So nobody will deny that. Get the tractors, give it to the people that you should give it to. How would you select where to take it? You know, all of these things perhaps may matter. But it's not a bad thing, obviously, in itself. It depends on how we use it.
It's a good intention.
Obviously.
To mechanize our farming and, you know, to be able to produce what we eat in this country. But how we utilize it at the end of the time, that becomes the priority. I remember when former president was here, he provided a lot of tractors in hundreds, you know, and these were all, sent to various divisions in this country. But at the end of the time, you will not see any benefit. I mean, you won't see anything that these tractors are used for, you know, than, personal sometimes.
And also, it is important for us to note that the farmers will pay $600,000 down payment for the government tractors. You know, it's not like it's been given to the farmers for free. It's not free. You know, farmers to pay $600K down payment for government tractors. So hopefully,
is it kind of like they're giving it maybe to communities?
Is it an
kind of loan? It's not for free.
I don't think that they're giving the tractors to individuals, possibly to communities.
I just want to establish: is it each tractor for 600,000?
Yes, yes.
For 600,000
down payment. Yes. So it's not like it's been given out for free.
What is going to be the payment mode? I mean, that's what we need.
Well,
to
that is why we should invite the Ministry of Agriculture to come here and have a conversation.
It can be little money for some people, but it can be big money for farmers.
I suspect that for most people, 600,000 in this country, that's a lot of money.
Is it?
Come on, man. For most people in this country, do you know what's the average salary?
Yes.
Can you imagine 600,000? But this is it. I don't think that it's for individual farmers. It's going to be for communities.
One thing
yes. They have one and everybody can use it for their own. Yes.
There is one thing I know. Use the tractor, do your farming. After selling your produce, you pay back the tractor. That will never work. It will just be there, for formalities, but I don't think that's
well, let's see how this, and invite the right authorities. And we have the clarification. So moving on, let's talk politics. UDP opens applications for 2026 presidential flag bearer.
Oh, wow.
The application is officially open for anybody who wants to apply. Obviously, the rules will be there.
That's the UDP, right?
The United Democratic Party.
Need to go.
Yes. So the applications are open.
So does it mean that Dabo is not going anymore?
No. Dabo has to apply.
This is a formality.
Dabo has to apply.
Oh, he has to apply.
Yes.
It's part of the applicants.
Yes, he will apply like every other Gambian. You apply and they have a committee to vet, and then they do the voting and choose their flag bearer.
That's it. So for some of us, perhaps the question we'll be asking is that we hope all of these applications and stuff are not simply a charade.
That's the thing.
Will
people even apply?
You know what I mean? Everybody, most people think that Dabo will contest again.
Yes.
And quite obviously he's the overwhelming favorite,
yes.
as it were. So this is it. Is it for real? Or is it merely a charade?
Yeah.
I do not know.
So also President Madabio, who is now the ECOWAS chairman, visited the Gambia, and the conversation is that the visit is linked to Barrow's start term. So government denies ECOWAS chairman's visit linked to Barrow's start term. The Madabio he's on a tour as ECOWAS chair. So for me, does it mean that because he went to Cape Verde, he went to Senegal, it's in relation to a particular president staying? I do not think so. Gambia is part of the ECOWAS and part of the countries he should visit.
And people who are saying that, I would love to know what they base it on. You know what I mean? You just can't conjure it up from the air, from nothing. So what is it based on? I do not know. We're just talking. But again, this is the problem, isn't it? They were supposed to have a press conference. They didn't. There was no MOU signed. There was no agreement, bilateral agreements. There was really nothing. Yes, he said, as you said, maybe it's part of a tour. But even then, come out and tell us that, well, this was part of a tour.
Because the thing is, there was supposed to be a press conference and it cancelled.
Yes.
So when it cancelled, then all this speculation started coming up.
That's it.
You
so this is the key.
That's
they
the
should
thing.
have come out,
Talk.
know, take a few questions.
Exactly.
Just tell us, give us a gist. We know obviously that there are certain things you cannot tell us. One obviously understands that. But politicians, they have a way of talking to people.
Yeah.
They could have done so.
Yeah. Like you said, they should have just come out and, have this conversation. Also, on the Gambia among countries with highest prevalence of FGM, we were just discussing it with the Honorable Minister. The 1-month-old baby died, and it's confirmed that the baby died due to FGM. By the time we were discussing it last week, the investigation for the autopsy was ongoing, and now it's finalized that the baby did die of female genital mutilation. And the law says if somebody dies, it's then life imprisonment. It's not money anymore. You can't be granted bail.
It's more than FGM.
It's more than if somebody died.
That is one aspect, and there's a body.
Yes.
There's a death. That's another aspect.
Yeah.
So this is it. What is it that the state is going to do? We know that the reason why we have a high prevalence of FGM is that a lot of people believe in it. Now, how do you turn that around, with these cultural beliefs and the like? That's going to be a very tough one.
Yeah.
Generationally, that's another game, through education, school, what do we do? You can do that. But right now, what do you do? How tough would they be? The enforcement, and then the prosecutions, what penalties will be given. So what are you going to put in place to deter people from doing it, to make them really scared to do it, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's the key,
That's
isn't it?
Also, the local government commission is also still ongoing, and we have that the Banjul City Council Planning Director faces questions and contracts and payments, so it's still ongoing.
Yes.
The investigations and asking the right questions. Key among the things is procurement irregularities we've been seeing across the board.
I'm telling you, when I started with QTV, somebody came to me who works in the system and said, you journalists, if you really want to do us good, focus on procurement.
That's where everything is.
That's really where everything is.
Absolutely.
Focus on procurement. Right now, we are going through all kinds of digitalizations. Is there any way that one can do that with procurement? What is it that one can do with procurement so that you can have more control?
Well, registration is digital.
There's always
There's a portal.
I'll tell you something. Digitalization is the deal. But I don't think most people are accepting it, due to self-interest and self-centered thing. There's nothing that prevents us from digitalizing almost 90% of our dealings. I mean, but it's a big deal. Sometimes I wonder, why are we not accepting digitalization?
But this is it. It's very interesting that you mentioned that, because recently we introduced ITAS, the Integrated Tax Administration System. They've introduced it in other countries, and it's important that we learn the lessons. When you go to Sierra Leone, for instance, people are they're quite resistant to this new system because they're so used to the manual workflows and perhaps all the deals that one can make. So you know that change is very difficult for people. People do not like it.
It's very difficult.
Perhaps you have to force
change that will muffle what you get.
Absolutely, closing the gaps, filling in the gaps, as it were. So that is it. So how do they manage this change? So this is really what we face here. How would they manage this change? And
I wonder, the local government council, the inquiries. I mean, our former chairman, Basse Area Council, there was a missing $56 million that he said he doesn't know how that happened.
Gone missing.
I mean, which is very, very crazy and very. Sometimes I sit and wonder, 56 million is not $56,000. It's 56 million.
Absolutely. So this is it. And we've seen it all over, haven't we? I mean, all these inquiries that, we've seen the reports of most of these inquiries, and just the same disease. That's what I'm going to call
Across
it.
the board.
Financial mismanagement, procurement issues, treating the institution as if it were your own, because you will take institution money, put in your own private bank account. We've seen all of these things happening. So it is pervasive, isn't it? How do you tackle that? It is really the job of government in many ways. We have to tackle that. People are not going to change.
It's telling you how feeble the government was when it comes to monitoring these local councils. You know, it's just a matter of, I've appointed you as the chairman or the CEO. You just go sit there, you know, make sure you are there in my name without even knowing the transactions that happen on the ground.
That's it, and there's a line ministry that's supposed to be monitoring all of these things. But apparently, it seems that the ministry is overwhelmed, as it were, since this is all pervasive, it's all over the place. So it appears that the ministry is overwhelmed.
It's not only,
they cannot do it.
It's not only the councils across the country, those living in different regions. Probably when we talk about it, we think about the likes of Basse, maybe Brikama, but even KMC.
Banjul,
the allegations.
Allegations are there.
All over the place. They're all over the place.
We have them, things that we were not even expecting.
And why should you expect that it's going to happen in Basse and not Banjul? We're really dealing with the same people.
Wow, it's
we are really the same people.
And sometimes
the
people that are involved, when you realize these are the people that were embezzling certain things, I mean, you'll be wowed.
It's extraordinary, isn't it? But we are also told that it is the environment, as it were, that encourages certain behavior.
That's it.
You have people, thank you. You have people who will go into the system with all the right intentions.
Yes.
You know, the heart in the right place, as they say. But still, you look at how, that's it. That's it.
Wow.
Absolutely. Then yange hall, there'll be no consequences. Then sooner or later,
why now it's going to be different, because you realize you will be haunted for this, because at some point time dafa ñew dañ la
next 10 years la wo 20 la wo dinañ la ko laaj
fi even time Jawara am na big people yoo xam ne ñaari ministre yóbbu nañ fi benn journalist to court. They lost. Journalists bi daf leen accused of corruption and all sorts of things. They lost. So yàgg nañ di gis yi waaye li ñu wax rek, the culture of public service the femininity is such that they encourage.
No, that's what they encourage. This is not, but they spread.
So it's just, it doesn't matter Kofatek. So settled since independence, ñaata nit lañ circulate as it were. It doesn't matter what. Africa mom danga am PhD, ñoo di def similar thing to some army sergeant ku ñoo de coup. You know what I mean? Then they want to janga. But why is it that even the educated, such habits of work, corruption, we are the same. It's amazing. So it tells you it's almost like a cultural norm. You don't want to call it that, but that's what it is. Somehow the
but how are we going to?
It's amazing.
Why funeka la neka de?
Funeka la di?
Funeka.
Let's put it this way.
Even journalism, sometimes I'm dealing with the answer. Yo misi boku, then they tia as nyorolo.
That's it. Well, this is the key, right? Nit mom, nit la rek.
Wow.
So what in the Western, ning forgis corruption. You know what I mean? Why institutions dañ dëgër in such a way that dafa naxari or boo ko defee mun dañ laa téye.
Exactly.
They have good best practice in when it comes to investigating these things, and the state is serious about it. But not here.
Depuis affaire yi bu starté moom.
Waaw.
You know, ñu ngi gis loo xam ne sometimes daf ñu dee surprise.
Ba
pare at some point lu ma jaaxal mooy some of them dañ leen a jël ñu yóbbu leen foreign service. I don't understand.
Waaye fi mu nekk nii gisanguñ luy xew duñ mun a preempt ne ñu foreign service dañoo yóbbu certain people, but li nga wax tam dëgg la sometimes yi su amee most of the time dana dee jël rek suñ la génnee rek move la to another sector.
Absolutely, it was the way that they were doing it.
Man foogu leen baro xolama set moom.
We have seen
lan laa ko mun a moom bugut dafa mel ni daal moom bugut a dóor kenn yar.
We have seen the
bugut a dóor.
We have seen those allegations of even
bugut a dóor yar kenn.
The lady, the CEO of KMC, gisoon nañ ko fi moom toog na on TV mu ne moom moo jëloon xaalis boobu noonu léegi moom dañ ko move to another council You know, so we've seen.
Mom, do they door de?
You know, it doesn't bite. Why the bite is the solution?
Because even it's sad.
Sometimes you need to bite.
It's sad. Waaw foog am ñoo xam ne rek ñu jël leen exemple. Because dégg naa tamit allegation la awma si lu leer ne maritime administration dañ relieve Mr. Jana, is it? And it's in connection to corruption, allegedly.
So
amuma si evidence. Waaw waaye according to beneen allegation allegedly pour mu leer ñu ne kooku dañ feel ne UDP sympathizer la. So yooyu noonu tamit daf dee xaw a critical. You know, UDP because pour ñu relieve nit noonu utaluñ ko fen fuñ ko teg. Dugaluñ ko fen am ku génn feneen ne UDP sympathizer la de. Allegedly amuñ si lu leer.
Bu nekkee ne moom am na grounds yu mu taxaw.
ne defut corruption.
mu wane ne moom lii
ñu de am na luñ gis. seetlu nañ ne. ñu nekk xala nekk suñ situation. xam nga post colonials and all of that.
waaw
ñu dee gën a def well.
waaw
mooy leaders yi ñëw ñu firm ne fii corruption du fi am.
dañ leen dee génne duñ fa dee toog.
so ñu dee oo yëpp as examples demal nga seet naka la gaay ruulee. that is very interesting. China mi ñoo wax tey. yes ñu ni ñoo ooyee democracy elections different parties. amuñ yu de at all. waaye ku nekk da ngaa régler.
foofu corruption dañ laa rey.
in many ways absolutely. so ñu tof ñi am liñ de ooyee economic efficiency. te boobu foo jaar nga tof institutions must work ñu deliver liñ leen tax ñu def leen fa. asa dëkk doo leen gis nix. dañoo nekk di perpetuate affaire si rek su kii génnee keneen ki ñëw.
ba pare pour dëgëral wax bi nga wax ni am na benn public institution duma mën a tudda turi public institution bi waaye am na ki dëgër ki fa nekkoon. Gambia fii loolu tam allégation la. waaye di nga gis ne ñun ñëpp si community bi lañ nekka. ñun ñëpp si community bi lañ nekka dañ dee waxtaan. kooku mu ngi nekkoon si institution bu sensitive boo xam ne dafa nii doon reforms. ñu ne kooku bu mu ñëwee fata pax yu bari. gis nga bu mu fatee pax yooyu. ñu ne ñu doo di ko koosal problème foom kabudu di report góor bi laa expliqué na institution bu mag laa wax nii bëgguma tudda tur bi. yaa ngi understand institution bu sensitive boo xam ne ñun ñëpp daf dee provide loo xam ne ñun ñëpp dañ ko soxla. ñu dem foom kabudu against that individual utal ko problème bañ ko daaxa. parce que kooku seen amukaay yuñ daan amee di sàccee kooku ñëw na fata na ko ne lii du fi am. because institution bi mu ngi si state boo xam ne dañ ko war a rebuild mu taxaw soo ñoomi neen Gambien si seen boppa soo nekkee si position yooyu nga déggu ñoo la fa dee génne because xamuñ loolu
so ñun xam nga lan lañ def am na luñ jëlaal ooyee ko government of politicians
waaw
so lu wrong rek am na ku ma joxoñ ne kii la gisuma ne really ak man la li kii su ma jëloon tey mu def ma te position suma moytuwul ma mel ni ñi ma doon wax rek.
loolu la
si that is the danger. ñun we are in that kind of trap moo bëggut ku déggu. li already sax weekend bi maa ngi wax ma ne ko tey maa ngi seetaan koo xam ne. ba ñoo dem high school ñoom ñoo daan ñëw di ñu wax na yéen capitalist yi sàcc lii du gën a fili Marxist theory. di ñu isil all sorts of things. tey mu ngi toog ci council yi ñëpp a ngi dégg. ñu ngi ko accuse of all sorts of things.
lii ñaaw na de.
so moo tax maa ngi wax sa xale yi ma ne yéen. ñu ngeen a youth that baa yéen a ngi xool suñ situation su ma la jëloon tey teg la te position ndax ni nga behave any different.
waxuma ko fi.
si will you behave any different.
moo tax man dama ne xam nga gaala buñ génnee di protest buñ génnee di protest xam nga ay Gen Z lañ. dama ne ñun génn nañ protest nañ ay ndaw lañ. waaye gis nga protest bi si mbedda bi rek loolu génn la téye suñ placard xam nga fa lawa bi nekk ñii protest noonu organisation yi ñoo lead as ndaw. ndax yéen a ngi koo régler saacu leen defu leen fa njuuj jaay.
gis nga revolution
revolution
ti bopp bi la dee doole.
I agree.
Have you dealt with that in your head? so man show ma li youth.
parce que mënuloo génn di wax te yaa ngi sàcc yow tam
to be straightforward. sometimes nga mun a run an affairs of an organization dafa need muñ. dafa need muñ jub because dang leen
non soo muñee du dem de.
dang dee am tempt lu ma ne muñ mooy. nga muñ. bul dugal sa boppa si yeneen.
muñ saaca bi daal
muñ boobu noonu.
waaw
maandu correct nga maandu bi nag mooy problème bi. fii I think 85% of the population ñu bëri maandu wuñ. weda maandu si wax maandu si am maandu si doxalini place.
ban façon culture lañ am.
waaw dugalante.
may ma soo tegee taax mi taxawal sa moto rek ñu ne kii dafa successful. It is the culture almost like encouraging that kind of behavior. léegi nit dafa bëgg a social status. ay prestige xa nga wax yu mel noonu. so yooyu daf ñu dee xala sonal. soo koo xam ne sax mu ngi bëgg a maanu di dox o di def whatever ñu ne kii moom loser la. kii moom bëggul dara.
waaw.
see so that culture do ever breed ñu honest.
saa léegi jaakati kofi la.
nobody will be honest.
man maa ngi nii man damaa ren PS
saa
système su boobaa ñu ne
saa DJ la
c'est sa salary. yow leer na la ne kooku salary mënu koo jëndal moto
jox lii yëpp.
mënu ko koo jox. so naka la ko kooku amee sàcca.
boobu culture
ñu ngi encourage sàcca ñun suñu
boobu culture nag dina métti so ñun foofu lañ war a focus really these cultural norms yi educate certain behaviors to institutions but duñ fa dee xool dañ leen individual bi Jaynaba o Mbodj o kii fàtte nga di structure that's encouraging it you will go for 1,000 years dara du xew
waaw kii mu ngi dawal four-wheel tayi de kii mu ngi dawal four-wheel te salaire I don't know Mr Mbodj xëy na dafa am salaire boo xam ne yëguñ ko
waaye man QTV fii ban njuuj njaaj la
am na njuuj njaaj xaw ma ne da ngaa jaay footage
non man kofi lay jaay man jaay kofi la
ban dugalante nga def fii waaye njuuj njaaj boo fee def daal dinañ ko investigate teg fi commission parce que tayi mu ngi dawal Ford bu black dina leer waaw looy def weltaare xaw ma ndax ndee caaj
so ñu am beneen commission
dafa caaj artiste yi weltaare dafa amee dara kii
dañ war a am suñu own commission
si biir QTV ñu commission nit ñi
commission su fi amee ñu bëri daw
but thank you so much Mr Mbodj for joining us it's always good to have you the vibe is always amazing and see you on Thursday because I'll be back here ñu defati beneen so if you followed QTV, you be aware that Ajib Bank has launched a priority banking for medical and security personnel. Obviously, they're frontliners, people, you know, medical doctors as well as security, to further prove they're frontliners during the COVID-19. But these were the people, they have to be on the front line. Journalists, Ajib dina ñu walu ta boole wuñ ci journalist because ñun tam front line.
Waaw ñun lañ wara ñun suñ taxawé rek dëkk bi
taxawé waaw. So we'll be joined by Ibrahima Job, who's a corporate affairs officer at Ajib Bank, and also Malik Mboob, who's head public sector department Ajib Bank. We'll be right back to stay with us. Money and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Mitoma. First time cross, really threatening, and it's dropped for Minte, rifled in! Out.
Did you know you can buy cash power using Q Money wallet absolutely free up to $30,000 Cs? Use our app or dial 323# and select Q Power. Choose Register Meter. Enter your meter number. Dial *323# and follow these simple steps. Number 1, select option 3 for Q Power. Number 2, choose option 1 to buy any amount of Q Power. Enjoy free QCell airtime every time you cash in to purchase Q Power. For any inquiries, call 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalbe.
Hi there, my name is Nuruddin Adams, a proud product of this noble institution. Heritage Christian University is not just a learning place, but a community that transforms lives and empowers its students to become compassionate entrepreneurial leaders. My journey here has truly been life-changing, and I invite you to come experience the same. Whether your passion is into business, nursing, midwifery, psychology, communication studies, multimedia technology, information technology, or theology and ministry, Heritage has tailored these programs for both the undergraduate and graduate studies to suit your goal. If you're ever ready to take your education to the next level, then pick up an application form and join us today. At Heritage, you are never alone. As members of the community, we'll stand and work with you every step of the way. Welcome to Heritage Christian University.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. And Ibrahim, now we're shifting our attention to Ajib Bank launching a priority banking for medical and security personnel. And we're joined by Ibrahim Job, who's the Corporate Affairs Officer at the at Ajib Bank, and then Malik Mboub, Head Public Sector Department. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on the program. Yeah, so Ibrahim, tell us, give us, a brief synopsis of what this priority banking for medical and security personnel is all about.
Thank you for having us here. And we say a big thank you to QTV and also Ajib Bank for coming up with this scheme. This scheme is mostly for security personnel, and we are also looking at medical, which involves the doctors, the nurses, and the midwives. We understand they have a very sensitive job to do. And as I always say, doctors are very important in the sense that they repair what was made by Allah. And that is a big thing. Also, when it comes to the security, they have a very paramount job.
Yes.
So for this reason, we understand that when they are at work normally, they take permission to go to the bank to do their banking transactions and all of these things. So it is important that we give them that priority in the sense that they could come and within a few minutes do what they need to do and get back to work. Their jobs are very important and are needed most of the time.
Yes.
And not only that, we have a designated teller point for them, and we also waived a lot of other fees so that we could help them financially, and also when it comes to saving time, we could save them a lot, because it is important that we save them not only time but also energy and resources. So that was the whole idea of this priority banking.
Okay. So, Mr. Mboub, is it that they're going to have a card? How is the identification going to be done? Can you explain that?
Thank you very much, Jennifer, and thank you, QTV, for having us. If you look at the whole scheme, as my colleague rightly mentioned, we are targeting two sectors at the first phase. That is the security, that's the National Security Service. And if we mention National Security Service, I believe there are 8 in number. That's the Gambia Armed Forces, the Gambia Police Force, the Gambia Fire and Rescue Services, Gambia Immigration Department.
So all of these?
Yes. All Gambia Prisons, the NDA, and the SIS, plus the Customs unit of the Gambia Revenue Authority, because they are also in uniform. So the identification mode is simple. If you come in uniform, obviously you will know where they are serving. If you are not in uniform, you are in civil dress, because all of them carry a warrant card. In the medical sector, they have their medical card. So whether you are in uniform or not, you will be served as long as you walk into any of our branches. So that's the first phase. So Ibrahim also mentioned, which I also want to elaborate on, the financing part. That's very, very key. Today we have 11 commercial banks in this country. 10 of them are all conventional banks, and one an Islamic bank, that's Ajib. So financing for these people, especially the national security, we, as a management, we felt the need to support them, in the sense that I wouldn't use the word rip-off, but they pay a lot of fees when they take loans from other banks. So what we decided as an institution is, apart from giving them this priority lane in our banking halls, let's also look at their financial aspect. If you take a financing from a bank, from Ajib Bank for instance, why should we charge you all these fees? Because the fees range depending on the bank. Sometimes they will charge you arrangement fee, legal fee, loan facilitation fee, loan anniversary fees. You name the fees, there are plenty. Plus a high interest rate. So we decided to waive all those fees.
So I just want to understand, what type of loan is that? Is it the Murabba, or is that the type of loan that you're talking about?
If you are looking at salary earners, we have different types of loans for them, be it long and short term or medium. So irrespective of the facility you take from us, we will waive all these fees for you. Yes, irrespective of the facility.
Nice.
Okay.
Yes.
Amazing.
Interesting. Then Ajib will soon become a security bank.
Yes. So when it comes to this, the opening of the bank accounts, are you directly dealing with the institutions then, or it's based on individual to open a bank account, or now it's going to be at institutional level?
We are looking at the personnel.
Okay.
If you look at it, we are not dealing with the institution.
Okay.
In any bank you go, you have a retail department that looks at personal accounts.
Okay.
Let's say my unit, the public sector, for me, I'll be looking at banking the corporate institutions of these services.
Okay.
But this one is purely for the personnel of all these 8 service institutions plus the medical. In fact, the medical too is not just the public, but even private doctors, nurses, and midwives. They're all part of this.
That's amazing.
So it was really appreciated when this was launched. We received a series of calls, but again, teachers too will complain.
Yes.
Why are you not
And not
included?
just a journalist. You
Yes.
No, you
Mr. Job, you see front line be?
Eventually, because this is a starting point.
Okay.
We're
It's a
starting
pilot.
somewhere, exactly, and then eventually we see how it goes and then expand it, because we don't just want to limit it to these 2 sectors. So eventually, we'll see how to go about expanding it. Because
But I hope that I'm going to expand it. Mu block, luñ don bañ fele, mu ñew mu happen. Because when I teacher yu bari ñew nañ, security ñew nañ, doctor ñew nañ.
Overload.
All sectors are very important. But
Very
again,
important.
if you look at it,
But they are more
our management
important than
carefully
each other.
choose
Very
these
urgent.
two.
Wow.
Simply because,
Wow.
honestly, you can't have a service personnel, for instance, the Gambia Armed Forces. God forbid if something happens, the person's finances is not even intact. You kept that person in your branch just to withdraw an amount or his salary for an hour. It's not right. Even not just banking, but even if you travel around, you will see that, yes, the military service personnel are given that priority, even on airplanes. So why can't we do the same in the Gambia here? So I think Ajib opened the doors, I believe, because we receive a lot of calls from other bankers as well. I believe they will emulate what we are doing. But again, it's good to recognize them. All sectors are important, and as he rightly mentioned, this is just the first phase.
They are more urgent than each other.
Yes. Doctors and nurses, that time they spend with you in the bank, honestly, they are needed. Today, if you look at the ratio of patient to doctor or nurses to doctor, it's very huge. So if they spend 2 hours with you, which means a lot of the queue will be very long in public hospitals.
Well, do you know Ajib is also contributing when it comes to how things work in the Gambia?
Okay.
Because now a doctor don't have to delay at the bank
Yes.
while the patients are waiting at the hospital. So Ajib is telling you, okay, now you have to go quick and attend to those people. Yeah. So why is Ajib Bank different from other banks?
one, Ajib is an Islamic bank, as we all know, different from other conventional banks. And when we do our things per Sharia, and we consider a lot of other things also when it comes to this priority banking, as he said, and also the way that we offer our services and products. It is all Sharia compliant, and when it comes to offering services, we are very considerate to people, their financial statuses, and also society. So all of these things are things that we put into consideration, which brings about this big difference. Because
Ibrahim,
as he said,
we want to understand the Islamic banking. How is it different from these conventional banks?
okay, one is in Islamic banking, we don't deal with riba, because what we believe is cash cannot give back to cash. So for example, when you come to Ajib and need a facility, we will not give you cash. What we do is, if you want a product, we buy it on your behalf and then give it to you at a profit margin, which you pay gradually. If also it is a service, we pay that individual and you pay us gradually, because whatever we do, if there has to be a financing, there has to be an underlying asset or service. So that is how we are different from the conventional banks. For them, it is cash for cash, but for us, it is cash for product or service.
I've also seen that Ajib Bank has improved its ATM services, you know, you know, let's be honest, kuneka amga jar jar, you know. So previously ATMC hejna si biram do dan am AC ak yoyu nonu way legi gis nañ ne sen ATM access bi tamit improve ngeen ko.
Yeah, sure. So we are expanding and developing as a bank, because initially we didn't have this important unit, which is the digital banking unit.
Okay.
Now we have a digital banking unit, which is responsible for all of our ATM cards and also the ATMs. So that is why now we have them going from one ATM to another, making sure everything is okay. So it is with the invention of this unit that we are having things more stable, because the customer base is expanding, and for that reason we also need to expand as a bank. That is why.
So are you also working on pour cardless withdrawal? Because gis nañ ne léegi sometimes nga génna nga fàtte sa ATM card bi si kër bi nga bugg a def a cardless withdrawal. Aside from cardless withdrawal bi tam gis nañ ne am na benn banque tamit on Kairaba Avenue léegi duma mention seen tur ñoom tamit léegi jarut sax nga rang pour nga deposit dañ am a deposit machine da ngaa dem rek teg xaalis bi deposital boppam.
Well, you have that in most countries.
Waaw so naka ngeen nekk di because technology mu ngi speed up. So naka ngeen ko dabee?
Banking is about service,
innovation.
Because if you look at it today, customers are multi-bank. Perhaps if I ask Jennifer today, Jennifer has a series of accounts.
I mean,
so any bank that can give you that ease.
Yes, fofu nga dem.
Honestly, fofu nga dem.
Exactly.
So Ajib stage bobu la tolu.
Okay.
We've been here for close to 30 years.
Wow.
So we believe that it's our time to lead the way while others follow.
Amazing.
So that's why if you look at it, the bank is expanding.
Okay.
We are bringing in more specialized units, bringing in innovations that others perhaps, because we don't want to say it all, but there is a lot in the pipeline. When it comes to the cardless withdrawal, very soon, the OmniMax will be launched.
Okay.
Customers, in fact, right now, some customers are using it, but it's not all out there. So when we have this, you will see that, in fact, we will have an improved version of the mobile app.
Nice.
So you can do a lot with it. So very soon, it will be launched.
Self-deposit machine.
In fact, all our ATMs are like that. It's just a matter of building the feature. ATM
It's just a matter of in the technology.
Right now, ATM so it's just a matter of more affair. So jaru ñu wax ko fii nii.
Ñun affaire lañ dee bëgg a dégg. ñu ngi koo xaar ñun ñu ngi fi waiting for you guys pour ngeen indi ko. Waaw su ko defee nag ngeen ñëw QTV gestu ñu jël ñu aas lii nii ñu leen di waxal. Aji Bank.
QTV
yéen ngeen am ay waxkat fii di dem di jël ay nit si biti te dama leen di put on the spot. Man wax rek lay def.
waaye QTV
kii wax rek lay def te ñun kuñ jaayal mu jar.
jarul sax ñu wax waaye
affaire yi
ñun kuñ jaayal mu jar waaye Ajib si biti lañ dee dem tey dañ koo wax fii.
seen affaire yaa ngi jar de waaye
Mr. Ka mu ngi seen affaire yaa ngi jar waaye ñun ñoo amee bagage
suñ ñëwoon nañ doon gën a jarle.
ñun ñoo amee bagage yi ñun luñ jaay mu jar.
mu jar dëgg la.
waaw ñun beyond that lañ wax.
dëgg la
waaw ñun luñ jaay mu jar gestu leen ñu de.
loolu moom dëgg la. QTV moom duñ ko génnee si Ajib. because ñun ñëpp si benn groupe bi lañ nekk.
baax na daal.
and we've seen the good work that you are doing. so man suma boppa jarul ma wax yow xam nga.
waaw.
so lii mooy suma liggéey li nga naa def.
waaw
dama nekk si beneen boor bi rek.
kay.
waaye tey soo ma joxoon mic ma def li nga naa def.
waaw baax na daal man xam naa loolu man moom xam naa man.
so in conclusion.
Mr. Diop waxal si li ñoo wax.
waaw waaye.
wax leen ak ñun.
non nañ wax ak yéen kay yéen moom foog ñu wax ak yéen foog ñu jëflante ak yéen because affaire si moom loolu lañ bëgg nu mu gën a baaxee rek nu mu gën a fese ñoo xam ne nii nañ leen déglu nañ leen seetaan.
yee Uncle OJ astafurlah ay ticket back may leen ma. ay ticket back Uncle OJ defante woon na ak ñun. parce que xam nga lu tax boobu ñun dañ waxaloon Ajib Bank. jaay Ajib Bank ba mu jar. mu defante ñun lu garaaw lu bëri nag lu sakkan. fàtte woon naa loolu non I take it back.
gis nga dafa nekk rek am na yoo xam ne mënuñ koo wax léegi fu ñu toog nii.
waaw
waaye day sa lot loo xam ne sax dinañ liggéey ak yéen. boobu is in the pipeline and very soon dinañ ko unveil. This year Ajib wants to come all out. By at least we have a target. Currently if you look at our standing from Ajib nekkoon. and where we want to take Ajib in the next 2-3 years. ñun ñoo xam nañ ko so moo tax soo bàyyi xel from January to date. Ajib is always out.
Mashallah.
Bringing in new innovations. And we will continue like that, inshallah, at Bijay. So that by 2026, you will see us in a different position.
That's very good. So finally, Mr. Joe.
Yeah, finally, I would like to call out everyone out there, be it a security personnel, medical doctor, nurse, midwife, or any other person out there, to come on bank with Ajib, because Ajib is an Islamic bank, as we all know, and we don't deal with riba. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask or want to reach out to Ajib, you can always call us at 3277 777 or 77777.
Okay.
That is the number 3277 777.
Okay.
Or you can also reach us at 315 4781. So either of these numbers always works, and we're here for the people, we're here for the public, and also making sure that we give you the best of services at all times.
And I think I need to add something before we wrap up. You see, this program was launched on Wednesday.
Yes.
But if you look at the turnout in our branches of the number of personnel coming to open account from Thursday, honestly, it's amazing.
Amazing.
So which is showing that yes, some customers are out there. They have facility with other banks.
Wow.
But even with them, we can accommodate them.
Exactly.
Even if you have a facility out there, you want to switch bank, we can do it for you. So we have a lot in the pipeline for them, and then we, as we said, the second phase will see other sectors added, including suma gars yi journaliste
ñun journaliste yi ñun ñoo amee bagage yi de ñun suñu waxee rek ñun ñooy wax rek affaire si am suñ ne dina am suñ ne du am
Adama Barrow sax mu ne journaliste yi duñu dëkk bi du dem without job
moom wax na ko bu mu toogee 2016 make na reference to Eye Africa yaa ngi remember baax na ñoo amee bagage yi de oo nañu sax media diina ñu dem State House
jagar
But thank you so much, Ajib Bank, and congratulations on this new launch. And we are super excited for what the future holds, and that there are more things coming on the pipeline, and we are patiently waiting as customers.
No problem.
All right. So Ibrahima, that is all we have time for. So from nekani danga dem ut coffee, tea, fan nga dem leke.
Man dama hif.
Why danga dem benn si hotel si man on who parce que da nga dégg ma wax dara
on you
bu fi put nit on the spot baax na daal so that is all we have time for till I come your way on Thursday. Jordan Jai will be joining you Tuesday and on Wednesday, so keep it that way, and then see you on Thursday. Bye for now.